Now at 6, a deadly crash involving a teenager. What police found at the scene that now has them investigating this as a homicide.
And what a beautiful Saturday it's been. Temperatures in the 70s. We'll do it again for tomorrow. It is going to be cool overnight, but I have storms in the forecast.
Plus, we are just 1 week away from the mini marathon. We'll show you all the preps leading up to race day. But we begin tonight with that crash into a building that's turned into a homicide investigation. Now, the crash happened just after midnight on the east side near 10th and Emerson. Metro Police say a pickup truck crashed through the side of a building right next to a gas station. You can see the scene here. The man driving died at the scene, and IMPD tells us they later discovered he'd been shot. An injured teenager, a 15-year-old boy who was a passenger in that truck, is now being treated at the hospital. Officers spent all night collecting evidence and examining this damaged building.
The building itself that has some structural damage. It seems like everything's fine with the gas station. So obviously before we leave, we'll make sure that the gas station is intact, speaking with the staff there and so forth. But like I said, it seems like the only thing that took the biggest hit, obviously, is the structure of the building.
We do have crews looking into this case right now. As soon as we learn something new, we'll be sure to update you on air and online. More potential charges tonight against a high school secretary who's accused of having sex with students. 31-year-old Alicia Hughes already faces charges in Randolph County of child seduction. Police arrested her back in February. They say her husband found her with an 18-year-old student. She's also accused of having sex with a 17-year-old student. Well, now Union City Police say they found additional video evidence on her phone. Prosecutors are now reviewing more charges of child exploitation and possession of child pornography. Tonight, the Grant County Sheriff's Office has temporarily removed its online jail booking information, and it's because of scammers. This year, the Sheriff's Office says people have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to scams. They're more targeted, more believable, and more damaging. Deputies say scammers are now using jail booking information to falsely tell families their loved one can be released in exchange for money. So now, Grant County's jail booking info is temporarily offline. Tonight, we are learning that a man has died after being rescued from Eagle Creek Reservoir. The incident happened Friday at noon near 38th Street and Dandy Trail. Indiana conservation officers say 41-year-old Frederick Holmes jumped into the water to grab a boat that had drifted. Well, he struggled and went under. Emergency crews rescued Holmes a half hour after he was reported missing, but he passed away today at the hospital. .603 on your Saturday. Want to give you a live look outside. You can still see that sunshine. It has been an excellent Saturday.
Beautiful.
Sunny, low 70s. You can't ask for much better on a weekend.
It was wonderful. High pressure's in control. It
Yeah.
gave us that sunshine, which, by the way, is pretty strong this time of year. So it is beating down. Make sure you're wearing the sunscreen.
Oh, for sure.
But then a little bit of a northeast wind added a little bit of coolness to it. So it really felt great. Beautiful over Bloomington right now. We've got nice conditions. I think this is going to continue into tomorrow. Now, with the clear skies for tonight, temperatures will be able to drop quite a bit. So it may be a little bit on the cooler side tomorrow morning. 73, our current temperature in Indy. There's the northeast winds that I mentioned. Looking ahead, we take these 70s that are in place right now, mid 70s right now in Bloomington, and we're going to be able to cool these down quite a bit, maybe even into the 40s. Overall, though, the pattern still looks pretty good that we're going to have quiet conditions. High pressure's in control. You can see where high pressure's in control because it scours out all the clouds. Meanwhile, one system to the east, another system to the west, and this one, by the way, will be our next weather maker, but it's got some travel time. It's not going to get here until sometime late on Monday. So in the short term, next few hours look good. We will cool the temperatures down through the 50s. We'll end up in the upper 40s for most of you during the overnight. And tomorrow, we'll do this all over again with beautiful conditions. Back into the mid 70s, plenty of sunshine, very nice forecast. When those storms arrive, that's going to be the next weather maker. I'll show you coming up.
All right, see you in a few minutes, Rob. Thank you. Starting today, I want to remind you can vote at 8 additional polling sites around Marion County. So these will be open daily from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. through May 3rd. The locations will also serve as regular voting centers on Election Day, which is May 5th. We have the full list and hours for you right now on WTHR.com. Oh, can you believe it? We are now just 1 week away from the IU Health Mini Marathon, where thousands of runners and walkers will take on 13.1 miles. And today is about making sure all the volunteers who make it happen have everything they need. Our Marina Silva spent the morning at the 500 Festival's Volunteer Distribution Day.
1 week and thousands will cross this finish line at the IU Health 500 Festival Mini Marathon. But first, the checkered flag is waved for the volunteers to get what they need.
And we give them their shirts, their maps, their access passes, and kind of a rundown of what they're doing for us next weekend at the Mini.
900 volunteers, all playing a big part.
Our volunteers play the most important role because they're on the course, they're helping people, they're handing out water and Gatorade and medals, things that we just truly can't do as a small staff, so our volunteers play the biggest role.
Staff have their own course for the volunteers, in one way, out the other, to make sure things run as smooth as possible. Cameron No is a 500 Festival princess this year. She's helping hand things out to volunteers.
These people have such a passion for helping others, and so do I. And so to meet people that also want to help other people and just be a part of something so much bigger than themselves it's amazing to be a part of.
This year might be a first for some, but for others, it's a yearly tradition and an experience like no other.
Some of our volunteers have been doing this the entirety of the Mini, so all 50 years. Some have been doing it for 5 years, but it's so fun to hear their stories of why they come back, what they enjoy the most.
Kicking off a month of all things racing in Indy. In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
All right, so if you want to take part in the Mini, you do still have time to register. Right now, running the full 13.1 will cost you about $115 plus fees. If you want to run the 5K, it's about $60 plus fees. The Indiana Fever are back on the court, and they just won their first preseason game against the Liberty in New York. This is the first game back for Caitlin Clark. Of course, she was out for most of last season due to injuries. The Fever won today, 109-91. Sophie Cunningham led the team with 14 points. Caitlin Clark had 7. Now, the regular season starts May 9th, and it's at home. That's when the Fever will face the Dallas Wings at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It is the final day of the NFL draft, and the Colts have added to the roster. Kentucky guard Jalen Farmer is headed here to Indy. The Colts selected him in the 4th round. He started 24 games for the Wildcats, and he also ran a 4.93 40-yard dash at the Combine. That's actually the 4th fastest time for a guard since 1999. Also in the 4th round, the Colts selected Oregon linebacker Bryce Betcher. He led the Ducks in tackles the past 2 years. In the 5th round, the Colts added to the D-line defensive end George Gums Jr. He played for both Northern Illinois and for Florida, and he had 98 tackles over 45 games. And the Colts just picked a local kid, selecting Caden Curry in the 6th round. He graduated from Center Grove High School, and he played defensive end and edge rusher for Ohio State. The Colts have 2 draft picks in the 7th round. Of course, we'll keep you posted all throughout the evening. Still ahead for us tonight. Peace talks and rising prices, both left up in the air. How the conflict in Iran is impacting consumers here at home. Rob?
And we are also looking at another day with temperatures into the 70s, but it's one of the warmer days in our 7-day forecast. There's a much cooler pattern ahead as we head into May. I'll show you coming up.
Plus, hundreds of Girl Scouts in Indy today will take you inside the event all about helping these girls follow their dreams.